Hey, how's it going? It's Adrienne Elise. I wanted to just check in with you, see how you're doing, let you know about what's going on. This week of astrology is pretty intense with Scorpio energy. The sun has moved into Scorpio, and it's coming up with a conjunction with Jupiter. That is happening on Thursday of this week. We also have Mercury in Scorpio. So the sun and Mercury and Jupiter all in Scorpio together. And so we're really moving into this energy. We're really starting to feel what it means for Jupiter to be in Scorpio, which is going to be for this next year in time. So Scorpio wants to know the truth. It wants to get to the essence of things. It wants to go into the deep secrets and into the shadow. But Jupiter is an expansive planet and luck. And so we're taking our luck into the shadow. And so this week has some really beautiful energy, as much as we're feeling a squeeze in our karmic truth with Saturn square Chiron, kind of feeling like, oh, these issues are coming up again and again. But what is the deal? What is the deal with these repeating patterns that keep happening in your life? Where's the belief system underneath all of it that keeps bringing forward the same patterns? So this week, we have this huge opportunity to see below the surface of the water, to go get and understand and get perspective on things. So Mercury is our everyday understanding, our ability to bridge the world of what we know and what we don't know. And so in the Scorpio, trining with Neptune, which is our dreams, delusions, fantasy, but also our connection to the spiritual world. But Mercury trine Neptune can bring some real clarity through the delusions of our life. So the delusions of our life are belief systems that are hiding deep in our subconscious. And so Scorpio wants us to go, the Scorpio energy is kind of inviting us down into this darkness. But I can see that what's happening for people is that they're coming up into realizations like, why? Wait, I'm finally seeing and understanding the root of this issue. Having to go deep down into the muck to get to the root of the issue. And so Mercury trining Neptune is kind of like, whoa, 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 whoa. Huge energies of perceptions just breaking down. We all kind of live in a framework reality that we have created, but also has been created from us, from societal conditioning, and then also past life belief systems, the belief systems of our ancestors. And so what's happening right now is a radical change in a lot of people's perspective of what they thought was true. And so Mercury trining Neptune is a harmonious opportunity to see the truth of what has deep down in your hidden subconscious has been affecting you, and then creating the same destructive patterns over and over again. And it's kind of like, well, wait, how did I get here again? So this whole year of 2017, we've had Saturn square Chiron on and off, and we're coming into this exact square of Saturn, the taskmaster karma planet, squaring up with Chiron in Pisces there. And so this Chiron energy is where we're not seeing the source of our woundedness. And so many people just move through life always getting triggered back into these patterns, triggered back into the pain body, triggered back into the same scenario over and over again. It's like, well, what didn't I learn this? And so this Saturn square Chiron, this completion of this square right now, we're going to be feeling it for the next month or so. But just like, it's really kind of asking us to get the most out of this 2017 astrology and use the Scorpio energy to just dive down into the depths. Now, what's happening is that when your paradigms of belief systems start to break down, it can feel kind of scary and disconcerting, but it's almost like for the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a lot of people on the planet just like kind of holding tight to it's just some sort of fragment of some sort of reality, but it's like, no, it's time to completely let go. And so in a way, there's this surrender, a beautiful surrender energy right now to allowing your life to be not what you thought it was going to be, to let go of these expectations and belief systems that are kind of keep you feeling like a failure, basically. When we're living by the laws of the old world, it's really hard to move into the new world. And so we've been kind of pushed into this new reality, but not willing to let go of the constructs that have been keeping us feeling sane and safe. So it's like the Scorpio energy is kind of like, oh, whatever, I just have to flow with it. And in the flow of it, you can get some clarity on the deeper issues that have not been accessible for you to understand. Why do you act the way you do? Like, what was it between in your early childhood or your family ancestral kind of patterns? What are you holding for your ancestors? Like, just some deep clarity coming forward. And it feels so much better when you can get in there and clean out these things. And it's hard when you're like, it's like we've all been walking around in this world trying to figure out what's going on underneath, or just like trying to figure out what's happening, not being able to really get to the truth of what's really affecting us and why. And so this week is kind of a magical kind of like viewfinder. This time of year is when the veil is thin to the other worlds. And it's almost like you can go ahead and just talk to your ancestors and just be like, hey, what is the story here? Like, why am I still laying out this pattern? And are we ready to get rid of it? So a lot of indigo souls and star seeds come in with this huge desire to like heal their whole family. And that's what a lot of people are coming to right now, is realizing that a lot of the heaviness and the deep feelings of insecurity, anxiety, or worthlessness or self-deprecation come from some powerful beliefs holding energies of your ancestry. And so we're having this huge opportunity right now in the Scorpio time to just like, oh, okay, cool. That's a story that happened, but that doesn't need to dictate my life anymore. And it doesn't need to define my life anymore. And so when we have the strength and the surrender to go down into the depths and start to see clearly, but we have this beautiful harmonious energy with Mercury and Neptune, seeing through the delusions, coming into a brand new perspective. And it just is like, going from that energy of resistance to the changes in these belief systems, these structures that are holding your life together, in just like that holding on and resistance, into surrender and allowing. So that is the energy of this week. As the sun, our identity, comes up with Jupiter and Scorpio, we're going to start understanding what this Jupiter Scorpio energy is all about. We're getting a massive hit of it right now as the sun conjuncts Jupiter in Scorpio, and Mercury still in Scorpio, trining Mercury, trining Neptune in Pisces. Now, the other thing that's going on is that Mars has switched signs. So we're feeling a shift of energy. Mars has moved from Virgo into Libra. Mars doesn't really like either of these signs, but at the same time, Mars in Libra has an energy. Mars is our warrior, our action planet, wanting to take things, move things forward. But in this case, it's a really great energy, because Mars in Libra wants to see both sides of every issue, understand on a deeper level, and have compassion. There's a lot of compassion, active compassion energy. And of course, that sounds good to be able to go through the world and have compassion, but we can't have compassion for anyone else until we can have compassion for ourselves. And so this compassion for ourselves is what we need. And this kind of harmonizing energy of Mars, the warrior, being like, okay, let's make this work for everyone. Let's figure out what's really going on. So this next month of Mars in Libra is a great time to have this support of compassion to help you move into those shadows and get rid of this stuff, this nasty stuff that doesn't even have any vibrational resonance with the truth of who you are, of who you came to be, of who you're becoming in this life. And go get those constructs. It's like this kind of prison walls built around you, and kind of go in there and be like, this is not my story anymore. And I surrender to the change that's necessary in my outside world in order for me to feel more harmonious with the truth of who I am. So I hope that you have an awesome Halloween and just really move into the Scorpio energy. Use it as a time to get clarity and clear up ancestral belief systems and all of this deeper stuff that's been holding you back and creating patterns again and again. And consider a session if you're looking for support, if you're feeling it, you're feeling like you're coming up against that resistance, get that intuitive support. Book a session with me and get the support you need to see those truths and clear those things and start surrendering in to that life that is more fully resonant with the truth of who you really are. So until next time, I look forward to seeing you. I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.